After grade 9, the Jasper Place Composite High School had been completed, and so we were then going to that high school, and it was, Barry and I were in the same classes that for grade 10, 11, and 12, and we were the first graduating class that attended all 3 years in the high school. So we were told by the teachers that we were special. It was a big school. Yeah, quite astounding for all of us and wandering around the place. And what also made it, we had 2 large gymnasiums, I think, and one of them that had a divider in it. There was also, it was called a composite high school because it had various trades in it. So there was automotives, not sure about welding or something, but other things like that. Carpentry, that's right. Oh yes, carpentry. Grade 9. I took grade 9 carpentry. Built 2 sides of a bookcase that were the same left side. My carpentry teacher wasn't very pleased with the waste of I think it was teak or mahogany. Yeah, so. But yes, it was a very big school, had all those things. I was annoyed that in some respects that I really wasn't allowed to take about 5 years of education there because I wanted to do automotives and some of those other trades as well, but you can't do it all. So, but yeah, there was theater programs. Yeah, it was quite amazing. I remember high school primarily from an air cadet point of view and the adventure that it was for me there. But participated in a number of school things. I don't know how to say this part, but there was what they call streaming going on in high school that year, and I'm not sure if it was is practiced today. It probably is to somewhat. And I didn't really understand it at the time. So I ended up going to school. One step aside, because this was a major and the first composite high school in Jasper Place, it was such a big deal. They recruited a new principal from Ontario. Bernie Keeler, who also became the president of the Alberta Teachers Association, I believe, years later. So Bernie Keeler was the principal. He was fairly strict and he had a major responsibility for all these teachers, and I'm not sure how many classrooms we had all together in the school. There were about 4 or 5, I think, in each grade at least, maybe more. I was one class was of essentially the brightest students, and I wasn't in that class to start with. I had a different homeroom teacher, but I guess I did fairly well academically. I was not a bright student in that sense because I didn't like to work hard. But I did apply myself a bit more in grade 10. And a few of us from one grade 10 classroom got moved into the other grade 11 classroom with the smart kids, is the way I think a few of us looked at it. So I would call myself kind of an average 70-75% is where I would like to perform on average. But all these other people like Barry and what's her name? Etherington. Bev Etherington, yes, the class valedictorian. Melanie Nichols, yes. There was a lot of them, but a few of us worked hard and we did well. And we had probably the best teachers too. My English teacher, which Barry and I both had, was Mr. Ed Dale. He was, I think, the first black teacher that I'd ever had. He was from Jamaica. He had got a master's degree in English and from England. I can't remember which.
Geography.
In geography. And he taught geography and English, and he also did things like theater and stuff too, didn't he?